Hello, everybody. My name is Ultima1125, and welcome back to another part of Unjust Gospel. I hope you guys all have been enjoying this series because this whole story segment is gonna end real soon. I am gonna be starting on another story project that I'm currently working with my friends, who we will be bringing the next story of my story project to more to life. So I hope you guys all look forward to that, and I hope you guys all enjoyed all the cringe of my solo voice acting of all my characters. But if you guys aren't sure what's going on this channel, I do some gameplays, but on my channel, I mostly am focusing on trying to make new story parts of each script, so that way I could record them and post them up on YouTube, so that way you guys could hear them. On the next story project, it will be a little bit more than I hope to bargain for. It's definitely going to be a challenge, but by 2021, the first part will be ready, and hopefully it'll go smooth sailing from there. If not, that's life. What are you gonna do about it? So without further ado, this is part 11 of Unjust Gospel, and Voice Monts is back. Standing in front of Shade stood still, feeling his eyes staring down at me. Trying to ignore his pain and rage, I stood still quietly, waiting for him to reply.
You need to talk to me.
Shade asks. A bit shocked, I brought myself back from the rage and pain and focused in toward Shade, clearing my throat. Yeah, I reply. I feel Shade continuing to stare at me as I felt the awkwardness filling the atmosphere around us.
Alright, I got time to talk.
Shade says. Thanks, I said. Shade starts walking away, making me chase behind him. As I followed, I see a group of people in the distance. Wondering when Shade would ask me what I wanted to talk to him about, but unable to tell when that was going to happen, I started noticing the group that we were approaching getting closer. Reaching to the group, I find more people there than what I initially saw. Passing by everyone as we walked through, I saw many people I had recognized from a TV show or movie that I saw in my reality. Feeling some unsettling emotion rushing into me, I kept my focus on Shade, seeing him entering a tent. Joining him inside, I see the tent filled with papers laid across the floors and walls, each paper filled with notes of God or Satan, and strings connecting to one another, joining up to a single paper hung in the back. Wanting to look closer to that paper, Shade steps in front of me, blocking its view, handing me a cup filled with water.
Take a seat.
Shade says, pointing to a seat in the corner. Sure, I said, sitting at the chair.
So, what did you want to talk to me about?
Shade asks, placing a chair in front of me to sit on. Oh boy, where do I start? I asked myself, unable to ignore the papers around us. Shade drinks his cup, grabbing my attention as he waits for me to begin. Well, I guess first of all, how is this possible? I ask.
What do you mean?
Shade replies. How are you able to bring so many people from different realities in one place without causing any problem with other realities? I ask. Even though I still couldn't see his face, I could sort of tell that Shade was pondering to himself, wondering what he should answer with, placing his cup down.
We have a strong ally who has the ability to do so.
Shade answers. But who? I thought only Satan and God were the only being who could do it, I said, putting my cup down.
I can't answer that. Not until I know you are joining us.
Shade says, feeling the rage growing. Okay, I said, feeling insecure. Then, what are you guys planning?
Isn't it obvious? We are planning to kill both God and Satan to free all realities from their rules.
Shade says. Uh-huh. And if you manage to do that, what do you guys plan to do after? I said.
I'm starting to tell that you have some doubts.
Shade says, getting up from his chair. Instinctually, I felt myself raising my guards up, thinking Shade was about to attack me, or if someone else was about to jump from behind. A lot of stuff happened, yes. But right now, I'm just here to clear things up just for me, I said.
What more do you need to ask?
Shade says. Feeling Shade's stare burning straight through me, I take a deep breath to calm myself down. Okay, well, first of all, to clear things up, I'm not planning on going against the person who helped me from having myself burned out of existence. And secondly, I would just want to know if you guys knew why Satan and God did all this in the first place. I ask.
That answer is obvious. Because they are beings that surpass even our own gods and our own realities, they feel like that they have the right to do whatever they want, and no one should go against them.
Shade answers. Okay, so that's one way to put it, yes, I said, looking away.
Why? What do you think they did all of this for?
Shade asks as he walks towards me. Quickly getting up from my chair and creating distance between me and Shade, feeling myself in danger, I quickly started thinking of what I should say to not cause more trouble. Look, look. I'm not here to be your enemy, okay? I said.
Then what are you here for then?
Shade asks. I'm just here to clear some doubt that still lingers on within me, okay? I said.
I see.
Shade says, stopping. After you saved me, I couldn't shake this feeling, okay? I don't know how to explain it, but all I can say is that there's a lot of things going on in my head that's making it difficult for me to figure out what I need to do, even if the answer is obvious in front of me. I said.
So you're asking me these questions because you think you might find an answer.
Shade asks. Sort of. Not really. It's kind of complicated. But I feel like if I get some answers from you, I could get some vague ideas of what I need to do, or at least what I'm trying to do for myself. Get what I'm saying? I said. Shade backs away from me and picks his cup, drinking from it again. Shade? As said, feeling the atmosphere calming down.
I know you're not the type to lie. Or at the least, I know you're bad at it.
Shade says. Okay. I said, confused of where our conversation was heading.
You're really unfortunate that you were chosen, I hope you know.
Shade says. Shade, I am not. I think we're going off topic. I don't know where this is going right now. I said, unable to follow.
It's all okay.
Shade says. Great? I said, uncertain. Shade turns to me, seeing some of the papers flying around him from his cloak as he corners me.
But if I am going to continue answering your questions to the best of my abilities, you're going to have to answer some of my questions in return.
Shade says. That's fair. Now we're back on topic, I said.
My first question for you is, what do you plan on doing after you find whatever you are currently finding?
Shade asked. I don't know. That's guess my future self is problem right at the moment. My current problem is trying to find it in the first place. But for all we know, I might just return back home and live my eternal life however I want, I said.
I see.
Shade says. Unable to grasp of how Shade was staring at me anymore, I continued to fight back the urge to stay silent. Okay, my turn. How did you manage to open a portal to reach to other realities? I asked. Shade fell completely silent, pacing back and forth, as I guessed to myself that he was pondering to himself again.
Does it matter?
Shade asks. No, I guess. But I would like to know in case I bump into more of your allies of my little quest to find my answer. So, would be nice to know.
Sadly, that's a group secret.
Shade says. Okay then.
My turn. Are you planning on joining us?
I don't know. I said, feeling the answer should be obvious, but felt hesitant to go through it. Shade appears leaning right over me, surprising me, almost making me stumble back and fall to the ground, as I felt something familiar reaching out to me.
Josh!
I hear the demon's voice calling out to me. I looked around, thinking that he was somewhere in the room, but quickly lost the connection with him.
You okay?
Yeah. Shade backs away and sits back down in his chair, acting as if what he did a moment ago never happened. Staring at Shade, I wondered to myself what I could ask him that would give me an answer. But as I wondered, I soon started getting a curious question in mind as I looked over to Shade. What was your reality like?
My reality?
I'm just curious, okay? Everyone that I've seen either in hell or now here are people I've seen from a TV show or movie. Though there were some people out there that I'd never seen before. So because of that, I was kind of wondering what your reality was like. Shade stayed silent, making me think he was thinking of his time at his reality before Satan erased it. Thinking I was prying into something I shouldn't be, I hear Shade sighing.
It's kinda hard to say. For me, it was like a normal reality.
Then how about comparing it to my reality? I see Shade turning his head towards me as I felt my heart racing, still feeling that familiar connection. You already looked through my memory when you saved me from the flames. You should already have a rough idea what's my reality like.
I see.
Shade relaxes as he ponders to himself.
If I had to compare it with your reality with mine, I would say the difference would be...
Shade! A big looking man barges into the tent. Looking at the man, I see his face covered in a mask under a hood, but notice one of his arm was replaced with a robotic arm and a bullet sash around his chest.
What's wrong?
Sorry if I'm interrupting, but we need your input with something, the man says. Do you need me to follow? I ask, seeing Shade getting up.
If you want.
Shade says, leaving the tent. Figuring that waiting would be a waste of time, I followed behind Shade and the man. Feeling everyone's rage, pain, and depression, I fought through them until we reached a crowd of people circling around something. Forcing our way through, we made it to the center, finding an injured man laying by himself.
What happened?
Shade asks. He fell through a portal completely injured. We don't know if they set a trap with him or not, the man replies.
I see.
Shade says, seeing the person suffering in pain. Seeing the man on the ground, barely able to breathe, I felt I already had a general idea what was going on through his head. Aren't you going to help him? I ask.
We will once we know it's not a trap.
Shade says, gathering a group of people together. Not long after the group got together, they carefully approach the man as he loses more blood. Everyone in the group silently watches as the group makes it to him. Focusing on the man, I started hearing the man's breath breathing into my ear as if he were right next to me. Quietly but subtle, I hear him muttering something under his breath. There's no way we can win. This is suicide. We can't win, the man mutters. Seeing the group not taking notice of the man muttering, I tap onto Shade, feeling I needed to tell him something important. As he turns to face me, I started wondering if warning him about Satan and God would change anything.
What's wrong?
Oh boy. I think this is a dumb question to ask you, but you guys do understand what you guys are trying to do by trying to kill beings that rule over realities, right? I ask.
We already know, and many of us are willing to die to achieve that goal.
Shade says. But how do you know you could kill them? I ask.
Simple. We have you.
Shade says, pointing at me. I felt I started to place the pieces together in my head. So, you saved me. Because I was given this power, and because you have no way to remove the power to take it for your own, you needed me to stay alive. I started feeling immense threat staring directly at me as Shade focuses on me, turning his back on the group.
Is that a problem?
Shade asks. Look, I understand where you guys are standing at. I mean, Satan was planning on removing my reality, so we're all on the same page. I said, trying to clear the pressure in the air.
I understand your hesitation. It's not easy to build up enough courage to fight against beings that rule over your reality. But we can't let those things keep doing whatever they feel free to do.
Shade says. But you guys are placing trust on a complete stranger who you have no idea if he'll join you or not.
And yet, here I am.
Why is everyone so ready just to hand responsibility down to someone else? I muttered to myself.
What?
Shade says, seeing me becoming frustrated. You're acting exactly how Satan and God did to me when they told me about this power. Just told me to keep it and just become one of them. And now, here I am, in the same situation where someone wants me to do something for them when I never asked to be a part of anything. I mean, are you guys related or something? 'Cause I don't have a grudge against them. It's you guys who has that grudge. I mean, if you guys really think about it, even if your guys' reality do end up getting erased and you guys do end up dying, you guys still get reincarnated into a brand new reality. Why is that such a big deal just to find out someone is just ruling over you guys? Someone who's trying to either protect you guys or prevent you guys from doing some dumb shit like this. From that moment, I felt nothing as I feel everyone's rage focusing only on me. Looking back at everyone around me, Shade walks up to me.
Are you saying that you're not going to fight with us?
Shade asks. If you guys want to fight beings that far exceeds any military or supernatural powers, then go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you, nor am I going to get involved with this. There's probably something bigger that has me already involved in, and I don't even know about it. Whatever it is, I'm going to have to deal with it, but I'm going to deal with it however I want to deal with it. The man jumps in front of Shade as I felt Shade's rage burn straight into me. Look, I'm sorry, but thank you for everything. Even though Satan said he was going to erase my reality, truth is, he hasn't. And if he is planning on doing so, then I will fight back. But until that happens, I have no reason to fight alongside you guys, other than I owe you one for helping me. And even then, I don't know if I can even tilt the battle to your guys' favor, even with my help. So sorry, but you guys will need to think of another way. Shade walks around the guy and stops right in front of me as I prepare myself to jump away.
To be honest, we already have a plan. We just wanted to make sure we won't regret it.
Oh, good. That's good too. I suddenly feel a sudden wave of pain in my chest as I look down, seeing Shade's hand digging itself into my chest. The black flames emerge around my body as I hear everyone preparing their weapons or spells and points them at me. What are you doing? I ask, pulling his hand out.
Executing the plan.
Struggling to pull his hand out, I see the black flames slowly getting sucked up into Shade's hand as I felt a little of my old self returning. What? I said, slowly getting his hand on my chest.
Josh!
I hear the familiar voice shouting in my head. Love to hear you again, but I'm really busy right now. I reply, feeling Shade pushing back.
Well, I'm glad you could finally hear me.
The voice says. Finally getting Shade's hand out of my chest, I tried to get away from him, but felt him holding me in place. What's going on? Is he stealing the power? I ask.
Yeah, he apparently found a way to do it. Which is why, if you don't do anything soon, you will be in trouble.
The voice replies. But how is he doing it? I ask. I grab onto Shade's hoodie and kick him as hard as I could, seeing him sliding across the ground. From the hood, a small mic falls to the ground, seeing it to be some kind of voice changer. Seeing the device on the ground, I look back up to Shade, seeing small embers of black flames forming around him before engulfing him. Checking my flames, a bit hard to tell, but I was sort of able to tell that the black flames around me became weaker after the interaction.
Well, normally it shouldn't be possible, but
The voice says as I lose its presence. I hear Shade straighten himself back up, getting my attention, and the moment I look back at him, my mind rushes with questions as my eyes widen. The more I stared at Shade, the more I thought I was looking at a mirror, but knew it wasn't the case. As I lost myself from the shock, Shade prepares himself for a fight as a black flame forms around him. You asked me what my reality was like, how it's different from your reality, Shade says. Unable to reply, I stared blankly as I tried to comprehend what I was seeing. If I had to compare, then the only difference between our reality is, Shade points over to me, the path that you and I chose in our life. Unable to fully comprehend what I was seeing, only two words formed in my head as I take a deep breath. Shit. I'm going to end And I'm going to end at this part here. I hope you guys all are enjoying the story. This is the second to last part of the story. Next month will be the last part of it. So I hope you guys are all looking for that. On the next part, it will definitely be it's not going to be the last story of this channel. I will be creating more. Like I said in the introduction, I am working with friends on my second story project, so look forward to that. Hopefully by 2021, by when I posted it up, I will already have a thumbnail and character already developed, or everything all voice acted, everything all brought to life. So if you guys want me to come back to the story and actually revise it, re-edit it, or even redo the entire story, you guys can let me know that in the future. But until then, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button down below, and while you're down there, why don't you guys also leave it down in a comment to let me know how cringy my voice acting is, especially since I'm using the voice mod. It is going to be hilarious to see this in the future. I would definitely want to see everybody's reactions. So, and another thing, don't forget to also check my channel. In my channel, I am doing both gameplay and storytelling. The storytelling is not going to be like my live storytelling unless if you guys want me to do that. Let me get it on down in the let me know down in the comments below. And with everything said, till then, I'll see you guys all when I see ya.